Hi, everybody. It is Friday at 9:17 a.m. in the morning, and I'm on Facebook, and this guy, um, Joe Gillespie the Great, so he's talking about Three-Eye Atlas.
Then we were told an amateur astronomer picked this up. Now, we're not really sure where this image came from, but that's just part of the Three-Eye Atlas update. Harvard scientist Avi Loeb said the Three-Eye Atlas situation could be a Black Swan event. What's a Black Swan event? Let me tell you. A Black Swan event is an extremely rare, unpredictable event that has severe and widespread impact, not just over people, but over the financial markets all over the earth. It's usually something that's absolutely unexpected, something like 9/11 or the COVID crisis. In any case, the Three-Eye Atlas, which is being described as looking a lot like this, is supposed to be closest to the Earth in about a week. Okay, everybody, I'll do the best I can to keep you updated.
So where was it? So that's what they're showing it looks like. Okay. Kind of looks like the Dark Star. Oh my gosh, I think David Bowie has a song named Dark Star. David Bowie. Yeah. 2016 Black Star. This is kind of a trippy one too, because he shows in the video, I think it's in this video, where he shows that his eyes, he's got this kind of like, I don't know, it looks, I think it's a, one of those string sacks. I don't know what they're called. I know what they're called. I want to say gunny sack or something like that. Anyway, he's got it over his head like a scarecrow, and his eyes are black. He's got X's on his eyes, like his eyes are blocked or marked out. It's kind of freaky. Anyway, getting back here, Nostradamus. I can't bring this up anymore, so let's try to move it in. Okay. So here's like an event. So the rooster crows three times. Rooster crows three times, and that kind of being denied and stuff like that. So it goes around this way, and all these events are happening. And right here, you can see that the eagles being pulled up from the earth. So it's like saying the money's being pulled up, but he's kind of being tripped by the prince. Right there. And then you've got this Roman guy, but I think he's representing Ophiuchus and the constellation. And then up here you have a black swan, and then it ends time. You can see the black swan's foot on the clock. And right here, I think that's Jupiter, where it shows the arm of God coming out. Let's see if I can do this. And he's got like a cane or something, some type of rod that goes right to the center of this. And in the middle, there's a kingpin. So I think it's represented by pulling the kingpin. And I think this represents the planet, Earth. That's what I get off of it. Understand about it. But if you look right here too, you can clearly see the Black Swan event coming in. So I think we're at the end of the clock. So I know a lot of people don't listen or like me mentioning Nostradamus, but he is one of the great seers as well. And a lot of his end time images are based on scripture, the end time of scripture as well. Now, this is Mark Allison, 88, Frequency change, October 30th, the butterfly effect. Going back here, where was it? There is somebody from Harvard right here. This guy right here, I think he's from Harvard. The Black Swan, a suspicious comet may herald the Black Swan event. Astrophysicists Avi Loeb and Elizabeth Vargas. So he's saying, make sure you have all your vacation in by October 29th to get ready. It says comet, object, comet, or alien. And then this morning on Mark Ellison's channel, let's see, where is it?
If you live in an Oregon zip code and have zero DUIs in the last 5 years.
Sorry about the. Oh, wait. This is.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Okay, now. Oh, here the guy is. Let's listen to this. This guy is. Okay. It says Bernie Cat, which this guy says that on October 30th, 3 convergent events will cause an electromagnetic boost so high that it affects our consciousness frequency. And then this guy, Bits Niche, I think that's how he says his name. Where will you be on October 30th, 2025 at 11:44 a.m.? Now that's UTC time, and I'm on the Pacific Coast, Oregon. So I looked it up online, and it says that it's an 8-hour difference. So for me, it would be around 4:44 in the morning. Kind of interesting. Electromagnetic sync of 2 billion people. 3 events happening: the sun, the atlas, and the weak electromagnetic field. I think it was Mr. MBB33 showed, I think yesterday, day before yesterday, there's a big old tear in the electromagnetic field. It takes the square root of 1% to make a global change. So let's listen.
Where were you October 30th, 2025?
Saying I can prove it with simple math. I'm insane, but you need you to go with me on this because the math checks out. On October 30th, 2025, 6.2 billion people are going to experience a cosmic consciousness shift simultaneously, and I can prove it with simple math. First, you need to know about the Earth's heartbeat, the Schumann resonance, 7.83 hertz. That's the frequency that the Earth vibrates at. Here's the crazy part. When you are in a deep meditative state, your brain literally syncs with 7.83 hertz. We are literally synced to the Earth's frequencies. But on October 30th, something unprecedented is about to happen. 3 massive events are converging. Number 1, the sun is at its solar maximum, the most active it's been in 20 years. Solar flares, magnetic pole reversals, the works. Number 2, an interstellar object called 3I Atlas reaches its closest point to the sun that exact day. We're talking about a city-sized object from another star system. And number 3, the Earth's magnetic field is at its absolute weakest point in the cycle. Here's where the math gets wild. When these 3 things hit at once, the Earth's frequency of 7.83 hertz could be amplified 10 times or more. So instead of 7.83 hertz, you're looking at 78 hertz hitting your brain. Your brain will have no choice but to sync up. That's just how basic entrainment works. It's neuroscience. Here's the math that'll blow your mind. Research shows that you need a square root of 1% of the population to create global change. For 8 billion people, that's 90,000 minds synchronizing at the same time. But with this electromagnetic disruption, we're looking at 2 billion people syncing up simultaneously. That's 22,000 times what we need for critical mass. The mathematics of consciousness says that this will create a global field effect. Your normal consciousness operates at about a 20 hertz normal bandwidth. That's your everyday beta brainwaves. But when Earth's frequency explodes, your brain goes to 100 hertz bandwidth or more. That means you'll access gamma waves, 40 hertz to 100 hertz, which is the frequency associated with higher consciousness, enlightenment, and even psychic abilities. So let's break down the numbers. 6.2 billion people, that's 76% of humanity, will be affected by this electromagnetic shift. Of those, about 365 million have natural electromagnetic sensitivities like me. And roughly 43 million people are predicted to achieve a genuine transcendent state during the peak hours. This isn't woo-woo stuff. This is just math based on electromagnetic fields affecting human consciousness. The peak moment happens exactly at 11:44 a.m. Universal Time on October 30th, 2025. That's when the interstellar object reaches its closest point to the sun, but the effects will build for hours before and hours after. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Universal Time, you're looking at 12 hours of peak electromagnetic disruption. Fair warning, technology is going to have a bad day. GPS systems could be down for 12 plus hours. Power grids will be super stressed. Communication networks will be disrupted. But here's the trade-off. While technology fails, human consciousness soars. It's almost as if the universe is telling us to disconnect.
It's very interesting. I'm going to play this again. The frequency change, the time.
It's exactly at 11:44 a.m. Universal Time on October 30th, 2025.
So when you go back from 11:44, and if it's 8 hours prior to, it's 8 hours before. I think that's what it said. But anyway, doesn't really matter. So I also want to tell you about this guy right here. When I was laying in bed the other night, I was thinking about this guy because of his color. My eyes are blue, but it kind of looks like he's kind of grayish blue. Now, the interesting thing is, and I wrote it down, I kind of drew it out a little bit. And hopefully we can kind of see this, what I drew out. So you have a farmyard, a farm and a house. I didn't do the rest of the thing. And you have two people. It was a man and a woman. They were out in the field. This was back in 2017. I think it was in May. I usually have strong visions in May and in October, just to put that out there, and in July as well. So anyway, up here is the clouds, and then we're looking down. So I'm up here. I remember being up here. I was on like this surfboard. It looks silver, and the clouds are right here. And all along here, the tip of the clouds was me and a bunch of other people in the same position. So the interesting thing about this is that my right hand was sticking out over the top of the board, and there was like this energy beam from my palm of my hand to the board. And then my left hand was facing, it was kind of like, it was actually like I was surfing. So my left hand was behind me, up in the same height, but it was a beam coming out my left hand to the back of the board. And we were hovering, riding this wave. This wave was a cloud. And I remember looking down and seeing these people, and they looked up at us. Either that or they looked up at the cloud, now that I think about it. But I thought they were looking at us, because when I seen them and noticed them, I smiled, and then I turned and I looked down the row, and there was just a row of us all the way down, and we're like, there was like this a rainbow colors, red, white, blue, yellow, greens, purples. It was just like the Northern Borealis, that type of thing. It was just all kinds of colors. And we were riding this cloud wave that was going over the land. And I remember when I seen the guy and I smiled at him as he looked up, and then she looked up, what come to my mind was, one will stay and one will go. And I immediately, because I was confused of who was going and who was staying, and if that was our job. And I looked down the line at people because I was at this end, and everybody was just smiling. Like it wasn't our job to worry about. Our job was just to create this wave going across. But the interesting thing about this, when I was thinking about this guy, I was like thinking he looks familiar, or something looks familiar about this. And then I was like thinking, oh, the Silver Surfer. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, I remember having that vision to where we were all like lined up on these like surfboards, silver surfboards, all the way across. There was a whole bunch of them. And I think it was God's army. And then we were going across. That was a short vision, but I clearly remember. So the last couple of days, I've been trying to figure out, how do I know, or why does this look so familiar? And I think and then I think for confirmation is that yesterday, or day before yesterday, when I was trying to figure this out, all of a sudden online, on my front YouTube screen, there was people talking about one will stay, one will go, or the two witnesses. And there was, of course, two people in the field. And I'm sitting there thinking, I think I have a confirmation that was right. That's what I was seeing. There's another vision I haven't told you guys about. We were all, it's like the people that were picked up. This was after, this is when we're all in heaven. And we're in this big, like, crystal ballroom or whatever. And it's a huge room. And I was standing up on stage, like, giving this speech. And so here's the stage. And so here's the stage. I'm standing right here in the middle of the stage. Behind me is a hallway that goes through double doors. So I'm facing out towards the people, and I don't know what I'm saying to them, but I'm focused in on their faces, their facial expressions, because their facial expressions are with their mouths, their eyes wide open, and their mouths are dropped, like they're in shock. And so I'm just carrying on with my speech. And then on the stage itself, there's on my right side and my left side, there's like these rows of tables and people sitting behind this rows of people, like a panel. And after I got done to speaking, this little guy come up beside me on my left-hand side, and he was tugging on. I had like this robe on. It was so interesting because it kind of looks like in the older days where they had these like robes on. And I felt somebody tugging on my robe on my left side, and I looked down, and I can't remember if it was Archangel Michael, if it was Archangel Gabriel, but I think it was Michael. And I turned around and I follow him, and we go to the double doors. As we're going to the double doors, as soon as we opened up the doors, it was like this very bright light. It's the same bright light as in all my other visions, to where when I open up a door and it's so bright. I mean, it's like looking directly into a light bulb, but it's like within seconds you can see. So it's like as soon as that bright light hit, I knew I was going to God. I was entering God's house. So it was so interesting. But I remember as I was turning around, walking away, what was in my mind is, I wonder why they were all looking at me like that. I mean, seriously, it's like someone who's in shock with their mouth open. And then I was looking at these people, and I didn't recognize, because I was trying to recognize and see if I can see my family or anything. I didn't see my family. I just seen a bunch of people I didn't know. But they were just everybody was dressed in white. It was like this crystal ballroom. It was really huge. And it was just, yeah, but all you can see is everybody's bodies and everything, and their faces and their white robes. It was just a really amazing experience. But then after I went to the double doors and I seen the bright lights, I woke up from my vision. So I just want to, share those experiences that I've had and try to draw them out to show you. Then understanding what's coming and what's happening. And then Nostradamus shows the Black Swan event as well. And others are talking about a Black Swan event, I think a couple of weeks ago, that's coming. So anyway, I hope you guys like it. This is Mark Allison 88. And this guy over here on Facebook is Joe Gillespie the Great.
Avi Loeb said the 3-Eye Atlas situation could be a Black Swan event. What's a Black Swan event? Let me tell you, a Black Swan event is an extremely rare, unpredictable event that has severe and widespread impact, not just over people, but over the financial markets all over the earth. It's usually something that's absolutely unexpected. Something like 9/11 or the COVID crisis. In any case, the 3-Eye Atlas, which is being described as looking a lot like this, is supposed to be closest to the Earth in about a week. Okay, everybody, I'll do the best I can to keep you updated. Shabadoo Booshkies, Shabadoo.
My sneaky boo.
Thank you for the application. Thank you.
I love cows. Cows are so great. Have a great day. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment.